Namaste. I see the divine in you as you see the divine in me. Namaste. And isn't that always the most beautiful way to greet each other? As I see the divine in you and you see the divine in me, we learn to understand what divine love consciousness is. And this is certainly a most beautiful time when we can start learning to understand what divine love consciousness means and how to work with galactic collective love consciousness. My name is Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, and it is my privilege and honour to be the Universal Light Grid Programmer Divine Love Element for Ka'airon, and also the Great Ascension Channel for Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, who are here to take us upwards into greater understanding of what love is and into the great flows of the great love. At the Divine Pineal Gland activations at this time, it is so beautiful to see such a beautiful group of people growing in the love and feeling the evolution happening within them. And for them it is beautiful to grow like this. So please come and join the Divine Pineal Gland activations if you want to experience a ride and understand how beautiful the flows are of divine love, and the teachings that are there are absolutely magnificent for everybody. So I'm going to close my eyes in a moment and allow the Divine Masters to talk to you in however way they feel that you need to hear them, for they are always perfect and their understanding is so much more divine than what we can even possibly understand. But before I close my eyes, I would like to read the forgiveness statement out, because forgiveness is something that we all need to do in our lives, whether it is little or large. Ka'airon, I bring you now into my spaces of love and healing. I ask for your presence and for your love to be with me at this time. I forgive all that has caused my pain to happen. I release it now. I allow the angels to take it away for me. I bring in the love and the peace, and I desire to understand more joy and self-love. I surround myself with the highest loving divine beings who are here to take care of me. I let go of all fear within me. I release it. I trust that all things are perfect as they are. I'm ready to love myself and all of life more. Thank you, Ka'airon. Thank you, great divine love. Namaste. I see the divine in you as you see the divine in me. Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, and I always say, happy is the one who desires to understand the great love. Happy is the one who seeks divine truth and makes it his or her own. Happy is the one who desires to walk the path of the great love. Happy is the one who learns to forgive more within self and within others. I, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, wish to welcome all who want to join in the great flows of all that is. At this time, the great gates within the great mountain of light are opening more for all who wish to enter into the greater spaces. Happy is the one who says, bless me, sovereign Lord, Emmanuel the Great. Teach me to walk the higher path. Teach me to step into the great love. 2,000 years ago, when I, sovereign Lord, Emmanuel the Great, spoke through my designated channel, Jesus, the people heard the ways of the great mountain also. And Jesus stated, when one has faith in all, then one can stand in the great love. And then that one will have the great faith that the great divine can move mountains. When situations are seemingly impossible to move, and when one goes within the heart and has faith, then the great Father Emmanuel will hear, and then all needs will be met of that one who is asking. Always ask the great Father for all you need. Never fear that he does not listen, for the great Father always looks after those who desire to have his love. Fear not, little ones, but know that great faith can move great mountains. And it is so that now that I, as the great Father, have returned through my designated channel, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, I too say, have faith, little ones, and know that the great faith within you can move mountains in all ways. Certainly, when you step into the great mountain of light, who is the great Chiron, the one who I have sent to your plane to bring through the great purification healings, so that I, as the great Lord, can give them purification flames to allow them to go to the greater spaces of love. The call is great at this time. The call is greater still than when it was when Jesus was my channel 2,000 years ago. And Jesus knew a time was coming when I, as sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, would return. But he did not know the time nor the hour. For only I, sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, knew when I would return. I always stated through Jesus, stand in the faith, stand in the heart. Know that when I, as the great Father, call, I will ask you, where are you, little ones? Have you stayed awake to these times, or are you sleeping? To become awakened at this time and knowing how important this time is a divine call. You cannot understand the importance of this time, as you cannot see the great universal purpose. You cannot see that I am the same being that I spoke through Jesus 2,000 years ago, and yet the ones who were around Jesus, I will state, they will recognize my being, they will recognize the voice, and they will recognize my channel, Jesus. They will recognize that Suzanna Maria Emmanuel brings through the same beings as past great teachers, as she has had lifetimes where she did bring through the great teachers. Many of those teachings remained upon your earth, even well beyond her lifetimes upon your plane, to help you become awakened at this very time here. For if you could not have that opportunity to awaken, how could you then step into that greater love road if you could not recognize the great path? At this time, to recognize the great path is difficult for the great majority of people upon your earth, and only a few people will recognize the great divine call. 2,000 years ago, through my designated channel, Jesus, I spoke like this also. I stated, very few will recognize my being when I return. Many will weep and say, Lord, we did not recognize you when it was the time to close the gates. They will state, Lord Emmanuel the Great, we were fast asleep, and yet I will say, all had the opportunity to awaken. For the people who were awake during this time of the great call and have entered the gates of the great ship of light, which is the great mountain of light, Kairon, will be safe, and they will be taken to greater pasture still, of greater healing. They will always be in the greater spaces after their passing. But for the ones who choose not to listen, for the ones who will miss out, they will weep and say, Father Emmanuel, we saw, but we did not want. For we thought we had enough. We did not want your being. Sovereign Lord, we did not want the great healings. Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, we did not want to recognize your channel as being the designated channel. For those ones who continue to dismiss my coming, they will not be able to board the ship of light, and thus I cannot recognize them as children of the light. For those ones who come on board, especially before 2020, I will give you the great purification flames, and you will have the great talents given to you. And upon your return to the greater love spaces, I will ask you, show me what you have done with your great gifts. Show me how you have improved saved your life and the lives of others. For those ones who say to my being, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, I have increased my talents tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. I will welcome them to my great feast, and then we can celebrate your talents. For each talent will have multiplied in many ways. They are the truly great ones in my eyes as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. Jesus also stated 2,000 years ago, the humble ones will find truth and the path. For it is the humble ones who will inherit all. It is the ones who are honest within the heart and who keep awake and keep asking the great Lord, Emmanuel, show me the path, show me the way, show me truth. They are the ones who will be truly blessed. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.
Greetings.